The sound that woke her up at 3:47 a.m. wasn't supposed to change everything, but sometimes the universe works in mysterious ways, doesn't it? A soft, desperate meowing right outside her front door. At first, she thought she was dreaming, but the sound came again, more urgent this time, cutting through the silence of the early morning darkness. She stumbled out of bed, her heart pounding with a mixture of curiosity and concern. Who could be crying outside her door at this ungodly hour? When she flipped on the porch light and opened that door, what she saw stopped her breath completely. There, sitting in a small puddle of rainwater, was the scrawniest, most pitiful orange tabby cat she'd ever seen. His golden fur was matted and dirty, clinging to his tiny frame. Those enormous green eyes looked up at her with a desperation that pierced straight through her chest. He couldn't have weighed more than 5 pounds, all bones and fear and hope wrapped in a tattered orange coat. "Hey there, little guy," she whispered, crouching down slowly. The kitten didn't run. Instead, he took one shaky step forward, then another, until he was close enough to touch. That's when she noticed his paws, each one caked with mud and what looked like dried blood. He'd been walking for a long time, searching for something or someone. Now, if you're watching this and you love stories about animals who refuse to give up, hit that subscribe button because what happens next proves that sometimes the bravest souls come in the smallest packages. She scooped him up as gently as possible, and the moment she did, something extraordinary happened. This freezing, starving, clearly traumatized little cat began purring. Not a weak, uncertain purr, but a powerful, rumbling purr that vibrated through her entire hand. It was as if he knew. Somehow, he just knew that his nightmare was finally over. She carried him inside, wrapped him in the softest towel she could find, and just held him. He didn't struggle, didn't try to escape. He just tucked his tiny head under her chin and kept purring that impossible purr. The next morning brought harsh reality crashing down. She took him to the emergency vet, expecting maybe some dehydration, maybe some minor injuries. What the vet found was so much worse. This little orange warrior had a fractured rib, an infected wound on his back leg, severe malnutrition, and early-stage hypothermia. He was approximately 4 months old, which meant he'd been surviving on the streets during some of the coldest nights of the year. "How long do you think he was out there?" she asked, her voice barely steady. The vet looked at the kitten with sad, knowing eyes. Based on his condition, at least 3 weeks, maybe longer. Honestly, it's a miracle he survived at all. Most kittens in his condition wouldn't have made it. A miracle. That word echoed in her mind as she looked down at this tiny orange survivor sleeping peacefully in her arms, finally warm, finally safe, finally found. She hadn't been planning to adopt a cat. Her apartment was small, her schedule was demanding, and she'd convinced herself she was perfectly fine living alone. But looking at him now, she realized something profound. Maybe he hadn't found her door by accident. Maybe, just maybe, they'd been meant to find each other all along. The first week was brutal. The kitten, who she'd started calling Sunny because his orange fur reminded her of sunrise, refused to sleep anywhere except pressed against her chest. If she tried to set him down even for a minute, he'd cry with a heartbreak that made her own chest ache. He was terrified of losing her, terrified that this warmth and safety was just a dream he'd wake up from. So she adjusted her entire life around him. She worked from her couch with Sunny curled up in her lap. She ate dinner one-handed so her other hand could stay on his small, warm body, reassuring him that she was still there. She even slept sitting up for the first 3 nights because lying down meant he couldn't feel her heartbeat as clearly. But here's what amazed her. Despite everything this little cat had been through, despite the pain and the fear and the abandonment, he wanted to trust. He wanted to love. Every time she came home, even if she'd only been gone for 10 minutes, Sunny would run to the door with his tail straight up like a little orange flag of joy. He'd weave between her legs, meowing his greetings, telling her about his day in a language she was rapidly learning to understand. By week 2, something shifted. Sunny started exploring. He discovered that the bathroom sink was the perfect size for a cat nap. He learned that her plants were obviously placed there for his personal entertainment and destruction. He found that if he sat on the windowsill and chirped at the birds outside, sometimes they'd chirp back, which was clearly the highlight of his entire existence. But the most beautiful change was watching him learn to play. The first time she dragged a string across the floor, Sunny just stared at it, confused. Playing was a concept he'd never known. Survival doesn't leave much room for fun. She kept trying, kept encouraging, and then finally it happened. He pounced. It was clumsy and uncertain, but it was a pounce, and when he caught that string, the expression on his face was pure triumph. From that moment on, everything became a toy. Her shoelaces, the corner of her blanket, shadows on the wall, dust particles floating in sunbeams. He played with the enthusiasm of someone making up for lost time, and honestly, he probably was. 1 month after finding him, she took Sunny back to the vet for a checkup. The transformation was staggering. He'd gained 4 pounds of healthy weight. His fractured rib had healed completely. That infected wound was now just a small scar hidden beneath his now glossy orange fur. His eyes, which had been dull with pain and fear, now sparkled with mischief and joy. "This is not the same cat," the vet said, genuine wonder in her voice. "I mean, physically, yes, but everything else? It's like he's been reborn." Reborn. That's exactly what it felt like. But here's the thing she realized. Sitting in that vet's office with Sunny purring in her lap, she'd been reborn too. Before Sunny, her apartment had been quiet, orderly, predictable, safe but hollow. Now, there were cat toys scattered everywhere, tiny paw prints on her bathroom mirror, and an orange furball who insisted on walking across her keyboard at the worst possible moments. There was chaos and laughter and a kind of joy she'd forgotten could exist. 3 months have passed since that rainy 3:47 a.m. wake-up call. Sunny has claimed every sunny spot as his territory. He's learned that 6 a.m. means breakfast and will absolutely sing the song of his people if she sleeps past 6:02. But he's also taught her something invaluable about resilience, about choosing trust even after betrayal, about finding joy even after trauma. She still thinks about that night sometimes. What if she'd been a heavier sleeper? What if she'd ignored the meowing? What if Sunny had chosen a different door, one that never opened? Here's what nobody tells you about rescuing an animal. Yes, you saved their life, but they save something in you too. They save you from loneliness you didn't admit you felt. They save you from a life that was fine but not full. Every shelter, every street, every dark alley has more Sunnies waiting. More incredible souls with stories to tell and love to give if someone would just open the door. So here's my question for you. What door will you open today?